The complex life of Rihanna's father. Ronald Fenty, born on August 16, 1954 in Barbados, was a man whose identity became publicly defined through his daughter's global superstardom, yet his own life was marked by complexity, resilience, and private struggle. He passed away in Los Angeles on May 31, 2025, at the age of 70, following what was described as a brief illness. Though not a celebrity in his own right, Ronald's journey offers a compelling window into the man behind the Fenty name, an individual shaped by Caribbean roots, family trials, modest ambitions, and the enduring, often turbulent, ties of fatherhood. Early life and cultural roots. Raised in a middle-class household in Barbados, Ronald Fenty came of age in a region rich with cultural diversity and colonial legacy. He was of mixed heritage, African, Irish, English, and Scottish descent, a blend that mirrored the island's own historical mosaic. Though public records of his early years are sparse, what is known suggests that Ronald's formative experiences were shaped by both traditional values and the unique socio-political fabric of the Caribbean. Despite these foundations, his later life would be marred by personal demons. Ronald battled with substance abuse, including alcoholism and crack cocaine addiction, struggles that would eventually strain his familial relationships and leave lasting emotional imprints, particularly on his children. Family life. Marriage, children, and fractures. Ronald's most well-known relationship was with Monica Braithwaite, an accountant of Afro-Guyanese descent. Together, they had 3 children, Robin Rihanna Fenty, who would grow to become a global pop icon, Rory Fenty, and Rajid Fenty. While the family once shared a unified home, their domestic life was anything but harmonious. Rihanna has spoken openly about her father's addiction and the physical abuse her mother endured during their marriage. These traumatic episodes eventually led to the couple's separation and divorce in 2002, when Rihanna was just 14 years old. Yet Ronald's story as a father didn't end there. He also had 3 other children, Samantha, Candy, and Jamie, from previous relationships. This extended family network created a complex family structure of 6 children in total. Despite past discord, Ronald maintained an on-and-off connection with Rihanna. Their relationship, often strained and publicly scrutinized, saw moments of both confrontation and reconciliation. In 2016, Rihanna purchased a $1.8 million mansion in Barbados for him, signaling a gesture of care amid their complicated bond. The children he raised, and the legacy he witnessed. Of all Ronald's children, Rihanna's fame catapulted the Fenty name into the global spotlight. As a Grammy-winning singer, fashion mogul, and founder of Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty, she reshaped the beauty and fashion industries, amassing influence and wealth that dwarfed anything her family had known. While her brothers Rory and Rajid have maintained relatively low profiles, they have occasionally appeared in the public sphere through social media or Rihanna's ventures. Ronald's other children, Samantha, Candy, and Jamie, remain largely out of the spotlight. Ronald's impact on Rihanna was profound and complex. She has cited him as both a source of pain and a figure she sought to forgive. Their relationship, while tumultuous, was never devoid of attempts to bridge their past, even amid lawsuits and media attention. Work and entrepreneurial pursuits. Professionally, Ronald Fenty led a life far more modest than that of his world-famous daughter. He worked primarily as a warehouse supervisor, steady, if unglamorous, employment. In his earlier years, he engaged in street vending, often accompanied by young Rihanna, selling clothes to make ends meet. He also briefly worked as a chef in Canada, reflecting his adaptability and willingness to seek opportunities abroad. In 2017, he ventured into business by founding Fenty Entertainment, a talent development company. While this marked a bold attempt to leverage the Fenty name into entrepreneurship, the move proved controversial. In January 2019, Rihanna filed a lawsuit against him and his business partner, alleging that they had misused her name to secure business deals without her permission. The case was later dropped in 2021, but it further complicated their already delicate father-daughter relationship. Recognition, acts of kindness, and final years. While Ronald never achieved fame on his own, his life intersected closely with moments of public interest due to Rihanna's devotion and occasional interventions. In addition to the mansion she gifted him in 2016, after his former home became a tourist magnet for fans, Rihanna demonstrated concern during the COVID-19 pandemic by sending him a ventilator in 2020 after he tested positive for the virus. These gestures, given their shared history, reflected a nuanced but enduring bond. Ronald spent his later years in relative quiet, splitting his time between Barbados and occasional stays in the United States. His death in Los Angeles came unexpectedly, described only as following a brief illness, and was confirmed by outlets such as TMZ, People magazine, and the Daily Mail. Estimated net worth and legacy. At the time of his passing, Ronald Fenty's exact net worth was not publicly confirmed, but online sources estimated his wealth to be between $1 million and $5 million. This estimate largely stems from his Barbados property and any residual income from business ventures such as Fenty Entertainment. However, unlike his daughter, whose business empire is worth billions, Ronald's financial legacy was modest and largely tied to his familial connections rather than individual accomplishments. In the end, Ronald Fenty's life was not defined by accolades or public acclaim, but by the complicated web of family ties, personal battles, and the shadow, and occasional light, cast by his daughter's global success. He remains a reminder of the human stories that often lie behind the headlines of fame. Reported cause of death. The precise cause of Ronald Fenty's passing has not been officially disclosed in public reports. Several reputable outlets, including People magazine, TMZ, and the Daily Mail, have uniformly described his death as occurring after a brief illness. People magazine reported, Fenty died in Los Angeles following a brief illness. His official cause and date of death have yet to be revealed. Likewise, TMZ stated that Ronald died in Los Angeles after battling an illness, without elaborating on the nature or diagnosis of his condition. The Daily Mail echoed these reports, simply noting that his death followed an illness, but offering no further medical details. The repeated use of the phrase, brief illness, suggests that the condition may have been sudden or rapidly progressing. While the term often implies an acute, short-term affliction, its vagueness leaves room for a wide range of possibilities. Without confirmation from medical authorities or statements from Fenty's family, the specifics surrounding his health remain unknown. This degree of discretion is not uncommon in the immediate aftermath of a public figure's death, as families often request privacy while grieving or choose to withhold medical information until they are ready to share more. Location and circumstances. Ronald Fenty passed away in Los Angeles, California, a fact confirmed by outlets including TMZ and People magazine. The location of his death is notable, given his deep personal roots in Barbados, his birthplace and longtime home. In 2016, his daughter, global music icon Rihanna, had even purchased a mansion for him on the island, further reinforcing his connection to the Caribbean nation. His presence in Los Angeles at the time of his passing raises the possibility that he may have been in the city for medical treatment or to be closer to family during his final days. According to Baller Alert, family members had gathered in California to honor his life, suggesting that his death may have occurred amid loved ones. The timing of this reported family gathering aligns with the initial wave of media coverage, underscoring a moment of private mourning and commemoration far from his native Barbados. Thanks for hanging out with Celebrity Fact File. If this tribute moved you, take a moment to honor Ronald Fenty's memory by clicking the like button. It helps more people discover his story. Share your thoughts in the comments. What will you remember most about him? Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more heartfelt tributes, legacy stories, and behind-the-scenes lives of iconic figures.